in game 2. This is Jacob Baugh, 4-color rally on the left. We saw him win his last game in the quarterfinals. He'll be playing against Jacob Rupp on Abzan Blue. Rupp has been the 1 seed, 1 loss in the entire tournament, but now he's down a game. He's gonna have to battle back against Baugh. As we see a Jace activation from Baugh, a Reflector Mage bouncing Rupp's 3-drop. Good start here for Rally.
Yeah, dealing with Anafenza as soon as possible, always a priority.
Jacob won't be able to cast it. No, this is one of the reasons the Abzan V4 color Rally matchup was very close, but one of the things we speculated was maybe Reflector Mage is going to turn this one in Rally's favor, and I think it's for that play in particular.
Rupp's deck has no Kalitas anywhere in the 75, so it's all Anafenza for permanent disruption. As we discussed earlier, he does have access to negates, 1 Hallowed Moon Knight, and then a main deck Dispel, so he can interact with Rally, though without the Kalitas, it's a little more difficult for him to interact with this on-the-board plan.
Reflector Mage will attack to put Jacob down to 15. You see in Jacob's hand, he had no turn 4 play, and not only was there an Anafenza that was bounced by Reflector Mage, but had an additional copy of Anafenza, both being stranded. That's
kind of best case scenario for Baugh here. That's exactly what you want to have happen every time you cast Reflector Mage.
So here's the swing. Swing happens. It's followed up by Nantuko Husk. Baugh continues to build the board forward. There are currently 3 cards in the yard for Jace. So he won't flip this turn, but on the next turn he'll be able to if Rupp can't answer it. And so far, he hasn't.
Right. If we're just passing on turn 4, the odds that we have an answer to Jace are pretty low.
Yeah, unlike the Rally deck, not really expecting anything like an end-step Collected Company here from Jacob.
A lot of pressure on this turn 5 from Rupp.
Here's a draw from Rupp. He's going to need something. I mean, maybe he can Siege Rhino his way out of this one. It's going to get much harder after this Jace flips.
He's unlocked the ability to cast Anafenza, but I imagine that he has nothing to do with the rest of his 2 mana.
Canopy Vista's the land, Anafenza's the play. He leaves up 2. Not much he can do with 2 mana, though. 1 ultimate price.
He's representing Negate. It looks like there are 2 copies of Negate in his hand. Negate not matching up well against just having creatures in play. Looks like another Reflector Mage for Baugh. That's just going to embarrass Anafenza.
I mean, we were talking about this, that this matchup used to be pretty reasonable for Abzan aggro. This is gross.
The thing is, Rupp's mix isn't even bad. Like, he's drawn Negate and Anafenza. These cards
are good cards in the matchup.
Have a high potential to matter. It's just that he doesn't have anything like a removal spell to play on the board to follow them up. And
right, it's a sideboard card plus what's probably considered your best card in the matchup. And Baugh is just knocking this defense to the side without difficulty.
Yeah, Rally was probably public enemy #1 going into this weekend. Despite only finishing 9th place last weekend, we've seen a lot of sideboard hate for it. A lot of players are clearly ready to play the matchup, and here we see it applying a lot of pressure in the semifinals.
2 copies in the top 8, Jacob Baugh and Matthew Tickle. Andy Ferguson in the finals. A deck with a lot of the same elements as Rally, too. You see that Reflector Mage will bounce. He'll swing in, he'll put Rupp down to 10. Jace is going to loot, he'll flip. It looks like we can keep going here. This is Rally the Ancestors still in Baugh's hand. He's not even going to need it. So he plays an Aili the Eternal Pilgrim and pluses the Jace.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2/3s in play right now.
Jacob's being beaten to death by them. Now, does he have anything like Radiant Flames? How does he even clean this up?
1 spell at a time. There's some ultimate prices, some self-inflicted wounds. There's an Exert Influence. That one probably doesn't even come in here. Main deck Silk Wraps, main deck Abzan Charms, main deck Murderous Cuts. Just a lot of 1-for-1s, and he's passed a lot not showing access to those cards. It looks like he did pick up an Abzan Charm, but that's pretty far from good enough. Can't exile the Husk until it sacrifices a creature. Exile anything else, and the Husk is just going to eat it.
A shake of the head from Rupp as he draws his card. He has Obzon Charms for removal. No good against tribal 2/2s. I have to start cleaning up the creatures somewhere. All right. Ultimate price is where we'll start. That's going to go for Nantuko Husk. Well, Jacob might sacrifice to Eiley in response, gain some life.
Yeah, may as well. Unless we have a plan for all 5 of our mana.
All right. Gains life equal to toughness. 2 life for Jacob. Puts him to 21.
9 more life. We got
We're
our
going to see it.
Vindicate
We're going to see it
machine.
sometime.
I'm sure it happens, right?
In Commander, you could even make her your general. That'd be pretty good.
Play some Martyr of Sands.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, this sounds like
Who
a
cares
modern
about
deck.
Sarah Ascendant? Let's play Eiley. So does all 6 damage come in on Jacob? Yes, he's down to 4. And no other plays. Draws a Duress.
Duress is pretty similar to Negate here.
So the problem is his hand is all Duress and Negates, and he's just being beaten up by 2/3s.
Yeah. Can't Duress a 2/3, can't negate a 2/3. This is comical.
It's just Reflector Mages, Reflector Mages, Reflector Mages.
I have never seen a format where 2/3s matter more than this format. Constructed format.
He's going to Duress. Jacob will rally in response. I'm not going to let him do that. He's going to negate the rally. Now, the problem is if he post-combats an Anafenza here, Jacob's dead on the board.
Yeah, and we just cast that
another
rally.
Reflector Mage in Jacob's hand. And a CDC's Faithful.
And nothing to find with Duress because we cast her only spell in response.
Here's Anafenza. Oh, look at this. All right, do you have an answer to that? Do you have 2 answers to that?
Do you have the card that you showed me in your hand?
Oh, he's going to play it.
Oh, okay.
Jacob will bounce Anafenza. And that is the match. Jacob Baugh dispatches the Juggernaut here. Jacob Rupp with top 4 finish with Obzon Blue. It is going to be a Collected Company mirror match in the finals.
This is exciting stuff.
You know, and to me, it's been the most impressive decks of the weekend. Is that interaction has said, you know, that's something really powerful. Standard's going to have to adapt to it, and to see 2 decks sporting it in the finals, it doesn't surprise me all that much.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Collected Company took a backseat on and off. You know, we've seen it in very successful decks, but we've never really seen a long stretch of time where Collected Company was a thing to be doing. But you know, clearly when Oath of the Gatewatch launches, you're at the point where Standard is as big as it can be. You have the most possible options, and the better. That's when the cards like this really perform at their best.
Yeah, I mean, Collected Company's interesting because in order for it to be a good card, there's a lot of requirements. It requires you to have a deck of about 28 creatures. I mean, no fewer than 25. And you can't be finding 1s and 2-drops with it. You want to be finding a pair of 3-drops. You know, you're getting 6 mana worth of value for 4. That's what it's best at doing. And you really have to be in a value-driven format to do that. But